Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. A Laurel school resource officer is now suspended from his job as city officials investigate allegations over a sexual relationship with a teenager.
And tonight we hear from Laurel School District officials who learned of the allegations late last week and promptly removed the officer from the job.
Now, those allegations stem from an alleged sexual relationship the school resource officer had with a 16-year-old.
However, as of now, no criminal charges have been filed against the officer. Tonight, the officer is on paid administrative leave, forcing the district and the Laurel Police Department to make other staffing arrangements. Laurel Superintendent Linda Filppula ordered the suspension last Friday after learning of the allegations from Q2 News. She sent a statement to our newsroom that says, in part, quote, "Once the investigation being conducted by the police department is completed, the school district intends to work with the department regarding any further action that must be taken to preserve student and staff safety."
In the meantime, Laurel Police Chief Rick Musson says his agency is doing an internal investigation, but will hand the case over to Laurel's Chief Administrative Officer, Matthew Lurker. Lurker says the alleged sexual contact between the officer and the 16-year-old happened a year and a half ago while the officer was off duty. He is not releasing the officer's name, age, or telling us if the 16-year-old is a student of Laurel School District.
Lurker does say 2 Laurel police officers are handling this internal investigation, but says he also plans to contact an outside agency to conduct an external investigation. And Q2 also reached out to the Yellowstone County Attorney's Office to see if any criminal charges are pending.
Deputy Attorney Chris Morris told Q2 News Friday that no criminal charges have been submitted to his office, but he also added that the legal age of consent in Montana is 16 years old.
Trial is likely in the case of a former Roberts School basketball head coach who's accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a female student.
Today, Jon Povich appeared in court. This past August, Povich pleaded not guilty in Carbon County District Court to a misdemeanor charge of endangering the welfare of a child. Now, Povich allegedly kissed a 15-year-old female student multiple times during the previous school year. Today, Stillwater County Justice of the Peace Lee Cornell took over the case and appeared by video after the Carbon County judge pulled himself off the case, citing a conflict.
Now, according to court documents, the first kissing incident occurred in December of 2017 at the victim's home. A second kiss happened at Povich's home in January. The victim described the incident as a boyfriend-girlfriend type of kiss. Povich's next court date set for January 3rd, with a tentative trial date that would begin January 24th.
The search continues for a Canadian man who went missing here in Billings a week and a half ago. Now the man's family is offering a reward for any information that could lead to finding Cameron Collin.
Q2 Samantha Sullivan spoke with the family today and is here tonight with more on what's really a tough situation, Sammy.
That's right, Jay and Jeanelle. The family of Cameron Collin still looking for answers after his disappearance back on October 4th. The Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office says he was last seen that night, and it's believed he left a home on Pryor Road and started to walk towards Billings. Collin's sister, Julia, told me today he was there for the wedding of a former college roommate and had been out at a bachelor party the night he went missing. She says she heard multiple different stories about that night, but she was told her brother wasn't feeling well, and that may have been the reason he ended up separating from the group. Julia and her father made the drive down from Canada to help search for Cameron, and the family is now offering a $5,000 reward for any information on his whereabouts.
It's unbelievable. My family unit has been so strong, and now that this has happened, we're just kind of falling apart. We just really want him to be found and to be okay. We just haven't found him anywhere, and we're not getting how nobody saw him or nobody can remember picking him up or anything. We want to know what happened at that party. We want to know what happened afterwards, and we want to know where he is now.
Again, anyone with any information is asked to call the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office. Jay?
Thanks, Sammy. New details tonight about a bear attack near Livingston this past weekend that injured an Idaho hunter. The female grizzly bear attacked Bob Lagasa near Livingston Saturday. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks says this bear has not shown any previous behavioral issues, and after the incident, the agency is stopping short of calling the sow grizzly a problem bear and says it has no plans to trap the animal.
We have a survey going on, a flight coming up in the next few days, and we'll be looking into that area to to see if there's anything unusual. But the circumstances of this attack were relatively a normal behavior for a female grizzly with a cub. Unfortunately, the hunter startled the bear at a close distance, and this is the behavior and response that we'd expect from a bear.
The Idaho hunter is still in the hospital in Bozeman recovering from his wounds. FWP, meanwhile, is stressing the importance of carrying bear spray, especially as hunting season gears up.
Medicare open enrollment kicks off today, and there are some changes this year that people need to know. Open enrollment runs from October 15th through December 7th. Now, you can receive free assistance with your Medicare application. That's through the State Health Insurance Assistance Program. The new Medicare card is one of the most significant changes this year. It no longer lists a person's Social Security number. Medicare enrollment assistants say make sure you look closely at your plans and your options.
There are new plans, and as always, your plan can change quite a bit from one year to the next, and just because you have the information from your plan doesn't mean you have all the information about other plans that are available, and premiums can change, the medications covered can change.
Montana Senior Medicare warns scammers are already trying to steal those new Medicare numbers.
Still ahead on tonight's 5:30 News, it turns out when it comes to the Nile Rodeo, the buck never stopped, and now it's become a staple in our community.
And later in sports, Scott delivers a snow-filled edition of Q2's Game Changers.
And coming up in the weather, we got a lot of snow over the weekend. We'll tell you who got the most and what we can expect later on this week. You'll like it. All coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.